Reminder that this is the live coverage of the 2021 NPP Delegates Conference in the Ashanti region. Now, some leading members of the party have called on the rank and file of the party to channel their energies towards promoting party peace and unity as well as harmony.
Let's have peace and quiet. We remain one party. Let's respect the views of the rulings by the party. I believe that there are three pillars on which my campaign has always been based. First is party unity, the second is discipline, and the third is commitment. Party unity, we all agree that without coming together after all these competitions, including ultimately the flag bearership competition, if we are unable to come together, fighting to break the age will be a difficult task.
I'm appealing to the grassroots, as we always call them, to remain calm and but to speak their voice, let their voice be heard in a gentle way, and so that people will take notice of what they are. I think they have already been making noises, and all of us have taken them into consideration. So they should remain calm. And then delegates must also make sure that the laws we are going to pass is going to govern us for years. And therefore, they should not just, I'll conquer. Everybody must raise his or her voice.
The target is how we can continue to be in power. The policies and the programs of His Excellency Nanado and Dr. Bawumia are so phenomenal. The party people will continue to see ourselves. It is only when you are in power that we can do a lot for our people. I will appeal to our party rank and file. They need to be a bit cautious. Sometimes some of our commentaries, some of our pronouncements are not good enough. Because the more you start making all negative kinds of commentaries, you energize the opposition.
Right, the need for unity in the party cannot be overemphasized going into the 2024 elections in both the presidential and the parliamentary elections. Let's head back to the Ashanti region, where the national treasurer of the party is speaking. Kwabna Abankwaya is giving an account on the party's finances.
Just aimed at one, strengthening our ability to mobilize resources, two, enhancing transparency in allocation and disbursement of funds, three, improving efficiency in our expenditure and to ensure value for money and safeguard the party's space, and four, continually upgrading and recording and keeping detailed and accurate accounting regime to capture all official financial transactions at all levels for the party. To achieve this objective, the National Treasury, working in close collaboration with our national executives and in full support of the leadership, implemented the following actions: ensuring that every constituency and region operates an official bank account which serves as the only recognized channel for conducting official party financial transactions. It has also significantly improved financial discipline, transparency, and enhanced accountability, and optimized to a large extent the accuracy and account keeping during account keeping due to easy verification activities. Additionally, I have ensured that every bank transaction, no matter the amount, is accompanied with an SMS message instructing how funds should be used and allocated for the various activities. Regional and constituent executives also receive SMS messages, putting everyone on the same page and in ensuring openness and reducing the incidence of mistrust and potential for misappropriation. I am happy to inform you that we have achieved impressive results in this task. This was clearly demonstrated by events at our recently organized and annual constituency and regional delegates conference held across the country, where treasurers at various levels, to a large extent, successfully and creditably presented detailed accounts of their funds received from the national party and well-wishers, and were able to allocate and expend them and explain to a large extent for the acceptability of their regions and constituencies. I commend the hard-working treasurers and financial secretaries and their colleague executives for this commendable and remarkable accomplishment, and encourage them to continue to improve their performance in the years to come. For the fiscal year 2020, in spite of the difficulty and challenges posed by the COVID-19 crisis, our great party, the New Patriotic Party, had an outstanding financial performance. Revenue. As has been the trend over the years and the election cycle, our account for 2020 saw some significant increase in our revenue inflows, which recorded a growth of 95% over 2019 figure of 57.6 million. This was mainly realized from donations from the appeals to well-wishers and party faithfuls. In addition, we also recorded inflows from testing and dues contribution from members, as well as a special fundraising activity organized mainly by the National Party and the wings, that is, the Women, Youth, and Nasara, respectively, totaling an amount of 3.266,750. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the party to express our profound appreciation and gratitude to all our great donors who continue generously to support this party. Your kind acts of giving has made a great deal of difference in our fortunes as a party. Nominations and filing fee for our presidential and parliamentary primaries amounted to 15,635,220, an increase in over 188% over 2015-2016 collections at the parliamentary primaries of 5,434,000. Contributions from our parliamentary caucus remains one of our key revenue inflow channels. I would like to use this opportunity to make a strong and passionate appeal to our members of parliament to kindly continue reaching out to make these contributions to the party. Also, in the period, there were some exchanges and interest on our T-bills, treasury bills, amounting to 840,000. Party cards. Going forward, we are poised to roll out membership ID cards as well as due payment cards at all constituency levels. The objective is to deepen decentralization of dues collection and introduce more efficiency in the process. This will enable the party generate revenue at constituencies to augment whatever support comes from the national to run their activities and operations at the party at the constituency level. Expenditure. 2020, being a very active year for the party, saw a significant increase in our expenditures. We continue our monthly support to our constituencies of 5,000. And by the grace of God, we will continue to do so in the coming years. Let me commend and congratulate the executives of Solar Tuna Cover and and Boli-Bamboy constituency for utilizing the 100% their meager share of this contribution monthly to put up party offices in their various constituencies. I have followed with keen interest the progress of work of these developments, and I'm glad that both projects are now near completion. Congratulations, Sola Tunakaba and Wally Bamboy, and I'll urge all other constituencies to follow suit. That is a clear example of positive impact from a positive policy worthy of emulation. While on this subject of putting up buildings to serve as an official office for the constituencies, it is worth noting or mentioning that just yesterday, the New Joabin constituency had the good fortune of receiving a grand donation of a brand new, fully completed operational edifice to serve as their constituency party office, donated by the kind courtesy of one of our members and a patron or elder in Ashanti region, Nanajua Dukuya Beauty Queen. Let us applaud her for this kind gesture. The facility, among other things, has a conference with a sitting capacity of 400. I want to, on behalf of the party, thank her profusely for a kind gesture and encourage more people amongst us to emulate this touching example of benevolence and sacrifice in the supreme interest of our great party. Parliamentary and presidential primaries expenditure also amounted to 10,211,994. Our manifesto, seminars, conferences, training also amounted to 2,997,719. Our Thanksgiving service in December amounted to 1.4,737. Being a good corporate citizen and a party that has the interest and welfare of people at heart, the party also supported and donated to the needy and the vulnerable in society, providing educational support, rent, financial, medical, and general support to the tune of 955,850. Funeral support amounted to 1,039,000. While the party also donated 50,000 to the National Cathedral project and disbursed 187,000 during the COVID in the purchase of and distribution of hand sanitizers, Veronica buckets, and nose masks. Administrative overheads, utility, and other expenses also amounted to 6,026,000. Our balance sheet. Our balance sheet in the year 2020 showed a positive growth as indicated in the increase of accumulated funds from 5.278 million to 9,538,000, a gain of 81%. This was largely due to our bank balances, our land acquisition, and purchase of printing equipment at the party headquarters. We owe this impressive and robust financial performance and continued growth first and foremost to the grace of the Almighty God and to the firm commitment to prudent management of party resources and adherence to the best operational efficiencies in our financial dealings. Although this solid financial performance and impressive growth continue to occur under my watch as National Treasurer, so many people have contributed in diverse ways to this achievement. Notably, among them is the chairman of the National Finance Committee, Mr. Sechabankwa, and some members, Mami Adwa Dokuya, Beauty Queen, Mami Adledo Ahiren, Fuel Enterprise, Honorable Tampuli, and others. To mention just a few, the National Council, colleague national officers, management staff of the party. In addition, Madam Chief of Staff, His Excellency the former President John Ajekum Kufuor, and I cannot leave out His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief, the Armed Forces, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for our visionary leadership and the words of advice and encouragement that he continues to give to us. I would also like to thank all the chairpersons of the region and constituencies, as well as all the constituency executives and regional executives for the support they've given me throughout the period. My day-to-day interaction with you over these 7.5 years that I have handled the party spares have taught me so much which is priceless, and has also enriched my experience to be a better national treasurer and a better leader. We have achieved so much working together, and by the grace of God, we shall achieve even greater things in the years ahead. Going forward, in all humility, I believe the time has come for me to take up a new challenge in my service to our dear party. For with God, all things are possible. With God, we can strengthen and prepare our great party for the ambitious but achievable task of Victory 2024 and beyond. The battle shall always be and remain the Lord's. Have a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year in advance, and may the great Almighty grant you safe journey mercies as you travel back to your various homes and keep.
Thank you,
the treasurer of our great
Mr.
party.
Abankwah, National Treasurer.
So you heard from the National Treasurer of the NPP, Kwabena Abankwah, speaking there. Amongst the things he said, that the party has donated some 50,000 cedis to the construction of the National Cathedral. We'll very soon hear the report of John Boadu, the Secretary of the party, but that is coming after this break.
Second Brunya, Obella Sibio, a Japadamacado by a Doda D-Ball, Ezibida, or a Don Rough, Damana Action by a Second Brunya, Connect FM Brunya, Chaza, Yasrama Second Dimba. 1 week, and the Yazis was a display with the Fuan and Zamba, no Shababo, you must Sansa Tossing. I film with Tena, Abrafona was a bay, as a trade and exhibition, a vital unit for business growth. You did executive with Zimba.
Why the party there today?
Oh, your second youth center, Kundum Square, and now confession Quadwa. Oshasa Sunday, 19 December, Zekesa Sunday, 26 December. Your second Bronya, Rebeshia Padisa, the Dofuna for Fufuninara, Mayanya Sentence Kakra, a Pedemo Brudu de Ruasa, Franya 0244 244 027, and 0545 572 856. Connect FM second Bronya, Yanara Yaniso, Nafia, no, yes, Samara Menko Porta, so, or yes, Samara Panuko. So what on the year watching Connect FM
Hola. Women are bold and confident.
No, I think you should take it out. Take it out.
Women understand that fear is just an obstacle that stands in the way of progress.
One of the things that we need to have is confident children.
Women are intelligent, powerful, and achievers.
But my many dreams I had as a child, journalism was never part of it.
We are full of life.
No, you cannot take the child from a good Samaritan. That person is supposed to rush to Dobsu or social welfare.
We are role models and great leaders. Not forgetting, we love to have fun. On Today's Women, we engage these types of women in different capacity, conduct surgeries into their lives as they inspire us to aim higher. Join Michelle Atto and her guests every Sunday at 3 p.m. as they inspire you.
My favorite is all the rom-coms. The which coms? Romantic comedy. Oh!
Today's Woman shows Sundays at 3 p.m. and repeats Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on TV3.
What's your take on an ideal guy?
I'm attracted to sapiosexuals.
Oh, sapiosexuals. Cool.
The smart guys.
See, I am one.
What's your take for the constitutional review?
See, they are really disturbing. They are worrying. Review. Constitutional review. The call for a constitutional review is not a bad call.
Really?
At all. Especially in the light of the fact that some laws have outlived their usefulness.
It was just gentlemen. I think Afena-Jan.
Afena-Jan? Who doesn't know Afena-Jan? Excellent footballer. Dangerous. Tactical.
There's this show on TV. It's a music show. Mentor.
I like Mentor. See, my family watches Mentor. Everybody. Hey, see, everywhere Mentor.
Where edition?
Eh?
Where edition?
Mentor's gonna take you higher.
Don't be clueless. Stay on top of issues with 3news.com and tune in to Media General's radio platforms on the go using 3news.com.
Break. This is still a live coverage of the 2021 National Delegates Conference of the NPP in the Ashanti region. My name is Noble Crosby and Roland Walker, the man you can see behind me, is leading a team in the Ashanti region. You can trust all the Media General platforms on TV, on radio and online to bring you up to speed on the happenings in the Ashanti region. Let's cross over for some live feed.
Excellency, Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and spouse, Your Excellency the Vice President of the Republic and spouse, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Majority Leader Honorable Chairman Sabonso, national officers, ministers of states, CEOs, MDs, MMDCs, and other government officials, our hard-working members of parliament, party executives from the regions, constituencies, and polling stations across the country. Reps of our external branches present, our venerable chiefs, TESCON executives here gathered, and opinion leaders. Reps of other political parties present, our sister political parties from across the world, here represented by Deputy Secretary General Gerald Kazembe from Malawi Congress Party. The media, ladies and gentlemen, I humbly bring you warm greetings from the National Secretariat of the New Patriotic Party, and in particular, the National Executive Committee of the party. As has always been the case, I am highly honored and privileged to be addressing you once again on the state of the party at this National Annual Delegates Conference. This report, among other things, captures some of the developments in the party from our last National Delegates Conference, which was held in 2019, till date, and the way forward. But before I proceed, I humbly crave your indulgence, Mr. Chairman, for us to rise up and observe a minute silence for our departed patriots whose illustrious works have brought us this far. Let us all be on our feet. From the last year, we've lost Agnes Donko, Kwabre West organizer, Rita Otu, J. Atokwashi, CK Tedam, Malon Anipa, DCE for Guan District, Ebenezer Azuma, second vice chairperson, Latif, regional youth organizer for Upper East, Honorable Kofi Ada, former MP, Navrogo Central, Chairman Kofi Juma, Pru East Constituency Chairman, Nana Adom Yabua, Chairman Abochi, Techiman South Constituency Chairman, Sam Kujo, Kofi Dakong from the Bono region, Dr. Amakutufo, and the last but not the least, our own Kojo Owusu Efriye, Sir John. May their souls and the souls of all our departed rest in the bosom of the Lord until the last days of resurrection, where we shall all meet again in heaven. Amen. Thank you very much. This National Annual Delegates Conference, being the first of its kind after our victory in 2020 general elections, permit me once again, Mr. Chairman, to seize this opportunity to say a big thank you, first of all, to our hard-working party members and executives from the polling station level to electoral area to constituency to regional and national levels, as well as our external branches, for working their hearts out to ensure an MPP victory in the 2020 general election. I equally wish to use this opportunity on behalf of the party to once again thank the good people of this country, the Ghanaian electorates, for renewing our mandate by voting massively for our 2020 presidential candidate, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to continue to build on the solid socio-economic foundation we have laid in the last 4 years to 5 years, for the growth and development of our dear nation, for the prosperity of our people. The MPP is indeed grateful, and we assure the Ghanaian people that we will not let you down. It is inarguable that the 2020 general election was not won on a silver platter, but as a result of effective and efficient time-testing campaign strategies rolled out by the party leadership, coupled with the hard work and sacrifices of our rank and file. The campaign was structured from national to polling station levels. The national campaign team was headed by the 6-member team constituted as follows. Honorable Peter McMahon chaired the campaign as campaign manager. Mustafa Hamid was deputy campaign manager. Lord Kome was deputy campaign manager. Ifua Sabia was deputy campaign manager. And myself, the general secretary, was the director of operations, assisted by my organizer and my wings of the party. We also had regional campaign teams headed by the various regional chairpersons of our party, with the other regional executives and some identifiable individuals in the various regions as members. The regional campaign teams went on to inaugurate constituency campaign teams, which were co-chaired by the constituency chairpersons and parliamentary candidates in the various constituencies. Finally, we had an electoral area and polling station campaign teams, which were inaugurated by the various campaign teams. The party organized series of workshops and orientation programs for the members of the campaign teams across all levels, as well as our parliamentary candidates, to equip them with the state-of-the-art political campaign strategies and canvassing techniques to make them more effective, efficient, and ahead of the D-Day's operations. We also held training workshops for our officers on the ground and polling agents to acquaint them with the effective use of technology in our famous pink sheet tracking system, which made it possible for the party to collect its nationwide election results from all over the 38,000 polling stations in a record time of less than 12 hours after the polls. This is said to be the earliest or fastest collation of elections results undertaken by any political party in the world. You cannot expect less from the New Patriotic Party when it comes to digitization, which includes leveraging on our technology to achieve results and make life easier and comforting. In contrast, the NDC has still not been able to collect its 2016 and 2020 election figures. Indeed, we have shown that we are better than them in everything, and we can only say, glory be to God for how far God has brought us. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, going into the general elections of 2020, we set for ourselves two objectives to achieve. The first is to win the presidential election in the first round and to also secure overwhelming majority in parliament. We were very successful in our first target by winning the presidential election in the first round by over 500,000 valid votes, which is an unprecedented electoral feat in the Fourth Republic for a political party seeking re-election for a second term in office. We, however, could not wholly achieve our second target of winning overwhelming majority in seats in parliament. Though on record, we are the majority group in parliament today, even as we prepare for a by-election in Asin North, which we are very confident of winning to add to our seats in parliament. Per the election outcome, we lost 49 seats to the NDC and snatched 17 seats, which meant that we had made a net loss of 32 seats in all. Much as this performance in the parliamentary is not impressive, we must place it in context, considering where we are coming from. In 2016, in the 2016 parliamentary elections, we, in an unprecedented fashion, snatched as many as 55 seats from the then NDC, which gave us 169 seats. Out of the 55 seats that we snatched from the NDC, 23 of them were seats that we lost the presidential elections. What it means is that we benefited from skirt and blouse in the year 2016. In much the same way in 2020, the 49 seats that we lost to the NDC, 32 of them we lost the presidential but won the parliamentary. The point must also be made that late organization of our parliamentary primaries, which has been acknowledged by the majority leader, knowing very well that we had challenges towards the organization of the primaries as a result of COVID, that moved our date from March to around June. It was a difficult process. We need to adapt innovative ways of getting our parliamentarians to be elected. Yes, I agreed. It makes it very difficult for us to heal wounds after the elections because it was short period towards the election. Following our emphatic victory in the 2020 presidential elections, as declared by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, the twice defeated NDC presidential candidate, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, led his party to challenge the outcome of the presidential elections. This was after they had lied to their supporters, claiming the NDC won the elections and not the MPP. Following this incitement, their supporters spent weeks on the streets, staging series of unlawful demonstrations, burning car ties and terrorizing innocent citizens who were going about their normal business. Well, eventually, when John Mahama and the NDC decided to go to court, they shockingly told the court that they didn't win and also that nobody won. We all saw how they ended up embarrassing themselves in the courts, where they could not produce even a single pink sheet to support their claim. Ultimately, the court, in a unanimous 9-0 verdict, ruled in our favor, affirming the declaration made by the EC, which declaration was corroborated by the media and endorsed by both local and international election observers as a true reflection of the sovereign will of the Ghanaian people. The national officers, after the election, led by the national chairman, embarked on a nationwide tour to all the 16 regions of the country to touch base with party grassroots at the regional and constituency levels following the party's electoral victory in 2020. The essence of the tour was to first of all thank the teaming members and officers of the party for the invaluable roles they played in prosecuting the MPP's 2020 campaign, culminating in the December 7 victory. The touching base and thank you tour also forms part of efforts of re-energizing, restructuring, and repositioning the party in order to break the 8-year governance cycle, which has gained notoriety in this Fourth Republic between the two major political parties. As part of the feedback processes that we got from the thank you tour, our party constituency officers and regional officers complained bitterly about what had then started by individuals jostling to take over from His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, even when he has not been sworn in government or as president. They charged the national officers to liaise with the National Executive and the National Council to fashion out code of conduct to regulate pre-parliamentary and presidential elections for our party. True to our word, National Council on 27 July 2020 made some significant sanity and was able to fashion out code of conduct in order for us to crack the whip where the need be. It is evidently clear that the combined effect of discussions and the publication of the code has calmed the waters of competition quite dramatically, and want to use this occasion to congratulate all prospective aspirants for their disciplined observance of the code. We also want to thank all supporters of the aspirants for accepting the need to moderate their efforts and to act with decorum whilst we focus on delivering our mandate to the good people of Ghana, who have rested their confidence in us for another term. It is in the same spirit that enabled the National Steering Committee and the National Executive Committee to ban all internal elections at this conference. And I can see that that decision, that courageous decision of the National Steering Committee endorsed by National Executive Committee is gaining and making gains for this party. Indeed, social and economic transformation takes time, and consistency of policy implementation is very much needed. Nowhere in the Constitution of Ghana does it say that a party that is performing well should be changed after 8 years. It is rather the president leading the party. So a president who performs well must leave after 8 years, but the party can continue with a new president to consolidate the good policies and present a fresh eye and vision. That is what informs the MPP desire to break the 8. The MPP believes strongly that after 8 elections and 2 rotations between MPP and NDC, Ghana will want an MPP government to continue to deliver on the policies and programs that are gradually changing this nation for the better. We are humbly counting on Ghanaians to sustain the MPP in power after 2024 by voting massively to endorse the best of our policies and grant our new leader the opportunity to carry the torch of progress forward. Per the dictates of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic, our hard-working president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, cannot seek re-election in 2024, and so we are expecting to elect a new leader. We therefore expect to open nomination at the right time. I repeat, at the right time. We are nowhere near that right time, and when the right time comes and we open nominations, we are confident that the party will present a good successor to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That leader will continue to listen to the people, mobilize the best of our values and talents, and accelerate the social and economic transformation of our dear country. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the party leadership has been paying significant attention to improving the state of the party structures and organization at all levels, especially the grassroots, which form the base of the party. Pursuant to this, we have, with the help of some benevolent party individuals, been assisting in the construction of regional and constituency offices in the regions and constituencies. And the recent one was what happened in Joabin, where Nana Dokua Beauty Queen donated such a magnificent building for the New Patriotic Party. I think that all must join me to thank Nana Dorukwa and public-spirited patriots like her to continue to develop and contribute to the running of our great party. Furthermore, the party, as you all know, has been making financial contributions to support the various regional and constituency secretariats across the country with a view to reducing the financial burden on party executives. I dare say, no party in Ghana and indeed Africa has been able to do this on a sustained basis as we have done in the New Patriotic Party. Indeed, when we visited you in your constituencies and regions during our nationwide thank you tour, you expressed satisfaction at the quantum of resources that was made available to the various structures of the party, particularly before and during the 2020 elections, to enhance your campaign activities. You described this feat as an unprecedented development in the history of the party, but like the proverbial Oliver Twist, you asked for more resources and a consideration of the process of disbursing these resources, particularly in the lead up to a general elections. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on party-government relationship, there is absolutely no doubt that our victory in 2024, where we seek to break the 8 years governance cycle, shall depend largely on the kind of relationship existing between party and government. Any gap in this relationship or disconnect between the party on one hand and government on the other hand shall be detrimental to our electoral fortunes. We are all aware of the very reasons why parties in government easily lose elections. Research in this part of our world has been shown that the main opposition political parties do not necessarily win elections, but rather it is the governing party that loses elections. People decide to vote for your opponents not because they like them, but because they want to vote against you, because they feel you have neglected them and they want to punish you. If for nothing at all, we have the Dr. Herman's report, Kwesi Boche's report of the reason why NDC lost the 2016 elections. Amongst other things, apathy, occasioned largely by breakdown of party government relations, particularly as we've always been reiterating, the tripod, that is the relationship between MMDCs, constituency executives on one hand, and that of members of parliament. It is important that we always come back to it because it is one of the major reasons why we lose some of our seats. If today we are able to fix this issue, then the New Patriotic Party will have nothing to worry in 2024 as we seek to break the 8. Something that no political party in the Fourth Republic has been able to do. Without a shred of doubt, Mr. Chairman, one of the foremost ways of improving the relationship between party and government appointees is to ensure regular meetings and interaction between party officials at the various levels and the corresponding government appointees, so that frank discussions can be held on all matters of concern to all parties. And I'm grateful that the CEOs organized one just about a month ago for government appointees and the party. And I can say on authority that it was a very, very timely and fruitful discussion that we had there. And we believe that as a party, we will continue to engage our government appointees and government officials in order to ensure that we bring to their attention challenges that we face and things that need to be done as the party move on. Ladies and gentlemen, as the party in government, we should not lose sight of the fact that the people will be very critical of what we do. We are the legitimate target of many critical minds, but we are expected to be measured in the way and manner we respond to these criticisms, however unmeritorious and discomforting these criticisms will be. We must appreciate the fact that communication when you are in government is not the same as when you are in opposition, where you can virtually say anything and get away with it. In government, you are largely expected to be providing answers. It is because of this that we expect that government appointees, ministers, CEOs, MMDCs, who have been put in charge of public purse and are expected to have the answers will play a leading role in communicating government policies and government programs as the party support them in the delivery of these policies. We are enjoined by Article 3.5 of the party constitution to promote and defend the good name of our party and government at all times. By this, every member of the party is expected to be a communicator for the party and government. In our quest to boost party-government relationship, we are rolling out, or we've already rolled out, comprehensive media and communication strategy to enhance party-government communication, part of which includes detailed auditing and the organization of capacity building workshops for our regional, national, and constituency communicators. We are also holding regular press briefings more than ever to trumpet our achievements. A lot more is being done in this space, and a lot more must be done. Mr. Chairman, I must also report to this conference that we are done with all the necessary preparations for the establishment of our party school. We have secured the National Secretariat. The National Council or Governing Council has been appointed for the party school, which shall be chaired by the immediate past Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Mike Aaron Okwe. The National Council, that's the National Governing Council, has also appointed a rector for the school in the person of Professor Bonzi Simpson, the immediate past rector for Jimpa. So all is set for a grand launch of the MPP Party School in January 2022, which is a symbolic year because it coincides with the 30th anniversary of the founding of the New Patriotic Party. The school shall, among other things, educate our members on the party's philosophies, values, history, political strategy, and communications, with a view to imbuing in them the very tenets of democratic governance and practice from perspective of a center-right ideals, which underpin the foundation of the New Patriotic Party. I am also pleased to once again report that the New Patriotic Party is the only political party in Ghana that has been able to organize constituency annual delegate conferences this year in all its 275 constituencies of the country. These conferences, which were held from 21st August to 27th August 2021, in line with Article 7 of the party's constitution, came off successfully and were COVID compliant, owing to the protocols put in place by the party. The party, in the month of October, held regional annual delegate conferences in all the 16 regions of our country, pursuant to Article 9 of the party's constitution and in accordance with the schedules approved by the National Executive Committee. Myself and my colleague national officers led some of my colleague national officers to supervise each of the 16 regional conferences that were held. The regional conferences were also very, very successful. Mr. Chairman, one critical matter that will be considered at this conference is a review of the party's constitution. Article 19 of the party constitution mandates the General Secretary of the party to receive notice and proposal for amendment of the party constitution not later than 2 months before the National Annual Delegates Conference. These proposals were duly received by my office, following which the party set up an 11-member ad hoc Constitution Review Committee, chaired by Honorable Alex Afenyo-Markin, to assist my office in fine-tuning these amendment proposals and drafting motions for consideration and approval by this conference. The aftermath of the conference and the possible constitutional amendment, if this what conference is looking for, to be effected to the constitution, will then pave way for internal primaries to be held at the various levels of the party to renew the mandate of serving party executives or elect new ones. It is envisaged that, all things being equal, we will hold our polling station, electoral area, constituency, regional and national elections through from January to June. I must also say, I received over 120 proposals for amendment. In fine-tuning these proposals, we were left with 91 motions that need to be considered by this conference. I wish to also use this opportunity to stress that for each of these internal elections, starting from polling station to national elections in June, July, the party will come out with rules and regulations to govern the conduct of the respective internal elections, and all party members are enjoined to fully abide by the rules and regulations. I wish to conclude, Mr. Chairman, by re-emphasizing my confidence that, as always, we will all give our maximum cooperation to the exercise we have before us today in order to once again have a successful conference. I also wish to use this opportunity to make a passionate appeal to all of us, especially the will-be candidates for the various positions in the upcoming internal elections and their supporters, to conduct this exercise with the necessary candor for the love of the party. Yes, indeed, it is true that we have an 8th year to break, and we are going to do exactly that by the grace of God. We must strive at all times to make the Ghanaian people realize that they are the greatest beneficiaries of the policies and programs of Akufo-Addo government, and that all these policies and programs will be at great risk if we allow the NDC to come back to power again. They will certainly collapse them because, as they have said, time without number. They do not believe in these laudable policies. They do not believe in free SHS, and I believe that they will collapse it. They do not believe in NAPO, and I believe that they will collapse it. They do not believe in NHIS, and I believe that they will collapse it. They do not believe in planting and food and jobs, and I believe that they will collapse it. They did not believe in youth employment program. They decided to change the name to JIDA, and they use it to create loot and share, and I believe that they will collapse it. Teachers training allowance scheme will be collapsed. Nursing training allowance scheme will be collapsed. Allowances for Arabic instructors will be collapsed. Capitation grant scheme will be collapsed. Mobile money interoperability will be collapsed. Paperless post system will be collapsed. Digital address system will be collapsed. One constituency, one ambulance will be collapsed. Drones for the delivery of medical supplies will be collapsed. National ID card system will be collapsed. NEP will be collapsed. One district, one factory intervention will be collapsed. Nothing will be left, and we will be back to square one. The NDC will certainly take us back to the era of unemployment graduate associations. They will take us back to the IMF and their killer conditionalities. They will take us back to the days of Doomsaw. They will take us back to the days of freezing public sector employment. They will take us back to the days where teachers and nurses and other public sector workers who worked for 2 years and more were only paid for 3 months' salaries. They will take us back to the days of economic stagnation. They will take us back to the days of impunity. They will take us back to the days of hopelessness. They will take us back to the days where students were compelled to pay their own utility bills on campus. We all remember that we've been here before when the NDC was in power. So this is not rocket science. It is not rocket science at all. It is real. We know them. We have lived with their experience. We know how bitter it was. We will definitely revisit those dark days if we do not work hard to make sure that the NDC does not come close to the corridors of power again. It is really and truly not always about our party or about what our party does for us now or does not do for us now. It is not about I haven't gotten anything from my party and government. It is about our future. It is about our children's future. It is about our family's future. It is about our country's future. Let this consciousness be our biggest motivation to work hard for our party and government to win the 2024 elections. We have a good story to tell the Ghanaian people. We should all go out there and tell our story at all opportunity we get. We should let the people of Ghana know how scary the NDC is. We must all get involved in this project. for the prosperity of our dear country and its people. We are the party and government that proved to the world that despite the effect of COVID-19, which had shattered the world's economy, we had the wherewithal to restore confidence in the Ghanaian people to the envy of the world. It is therefore not surprising that we have a president that the whole of Africa has been voted the African of the Year. It just cannot be better than this. Thank you, and may we have a successful conference to the glory of God and country. Merry Christmas and a prosperous
New Year. Thank you, the General Secretary of the New Patriotic
The General Secretary of the ruling New Patriotic Party.
That was the General Secretary of the NPP, John Boadu, speaking there. Obviously, one of the main highlights of today's event. We're also waiting for the Vice President, his address, His Excellency Dr. Bawumia, to also address delegates at the conference. But let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you that.
It's about to go down! The biggest throwback party to hit the capital this December. Music from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s like this. Or this.
Here I come.
Or even this. The unforgettable era of vinyl DJ decks, gramophone, cassettes, ghetto blasters, and many more. So where my OGs at? Come, let's relive those moments on Thursday, 23rd December from 7 p.m. at the Bayview Village Atomic as we jam just before Christmas, rocking your favorite old school shudder. There will be karaoke sessions, dance battles, and many more activities to turn the night up. Rate 50 Ghana cedis. Reserve your VIP table now. Call 0545 477777 or 0558 182255. The Accra Retro Party is powered by 3FM 92.7 in collaboration with 360 Events. The Accra Retro Party. Let's take it back.
Sometimes you just know that something ain't going good. You say to yourself, this ain't working for me. There be no shame in that, man.
Like when you don't got it?
Yeah, man, I mean, being smart means knowing when to stop. Know your limit.
So like knowing when to stop? Yeah, makes sense.
If it's not fun, choose to stop.
This advertisement is brought to you by Bet Power.
Ghana's biggest comedy night is here to party! From Nana's Incomplete 3, hashtag the party experience.
Christiana Law, when you were not married and someone married you, you started singing Amena Loko Doko Vimufa, Yesua Benia. Ukuluja Onya Kulukufoli, and Kanina Mesonia.
Date 23rd December 2021. Venue National Theatre. Time 7 p.m. Rate is 60 Ghana cedis regular and 100 Ghana cedis VIP. Dial *447 *332# to purchase your ticket now. For more inquiries, call 0506 780720. Powered by